What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Sports Talk Tuesday. I got a topic I'm going to talk about why MJ Jordan is the GOAT, all-time GOAT of the NBA. And it really is not even no question about it. This topic shouldn't take that long because there's really no argument. Now, I'm going to give people a chance to comment. You can come up, you can talk about it. We could talk about other things from Kwame Brown to the current NBA to whatever. But I mean, this is just so obvious to me. It ain't really even worth talking about. But some people seem to have amnesia about what this man did on the court. Now, I don't talk about people, what they did personally, this, that, and the other. I don't know. I'm not an investigative reporter. So I'm just talking about on the court. So with that being said, it ain't even no question. Now, Nicole, what's up, girl? I appreciate you for coming through, taking the time out your busy day. I appreciate it. Mellow Fellow, what's up, brother? How you doing? I see you came. I know you was busy today, so I appreciate it. Bobby Bailey, what's up? What's up? Sheena, hey, what's up? I appreciate you. Yeah, everybody, if you're new, subscribe, hit that like. I appreciate it. Cocoa Butter Barbie, hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming through. What's your opinion on Carmelo? That's your all-time favorite. That's a good topic. You guys, I want you all to start naming some players after I talk about MJ, and I'll let you know if they are a Hall of Famer or not. What y'all think about that? You all can start asking me some questions about some players, and I'll tell you if they a Hall of Fame player or just a very good player. Carmelo Anthony is on the border. He's on the border of Hall of Fame player versus just a good player. And I'll explain why. But the border, he's leaning more towards Hall of Fame than not. But the criteria for Hall of Fame is a little tricky too. But I can break it down. Carlotta, what's up? How you doing? I appreciate you for coming through, sis. I appreciate you. Hey, Whit, what's up? Bobby, I mean, I agree with you. There's no questions. I can't believe some of the stuff people tell me and write me on some of these videos. And also they talk about the number one draft pick is not always the best player. No kidding. That just shows me that people don't understand what the draft is. It's about prospect. You got to know what a prospect is. They are it's the prospect of them being the best player, but they get it wrong. Some people come out of nowhere. Nobody thought Giannis was going to be the Greek freak. They thought he was somebody with a long ass name that may be decent. Had they have saw that and had him as the number one prospect, he would have went number one. So you got to keep that in mind. Nah, universe, man. Hey, if he can't even put his name, let alone his face up here, ain't no point. You need to go ahead. If Melo had a ring, he would definitely be a Hall of Famer. He would definitely be a Hall of Famer. But Melo actually is more so a Hall of Famer anyway, because I believe he has more basketball Olympic gold medals than anybody. I think he got 3. But, I mean, with the dream teams and stuff, it's kind of easier when the pros have been playing. But Melo has more Olympic basketball gold medals, which would put him in the Hall of Fame. Plus, he's a great offensive threat. And there are great offensive threats in the NBA Hall of Fame. So I will give that to Melo. Jazzy Jeff, what's up? What's up? LeBron has all these stats because he never had major injuries until now. I still don't think he injured. I think LeBron has been doing body management, which is something that Jordan didn't do. They didn't do that. And that's right. The draft is about potential. So if you are the #1 overall pick, you had the most potential than anybody else. Even if people didn't need you, somebody sent me some message saying they draft based on the need versus, you know, who's the best overall. No, they do not. That's the NFL that does that. Example. I'll give you 2 examples. Orlando had Shaquille O'Neal. The very next year, they had Chris Webber. What did they do? They still drafted Chris Webber. They then traded him for Penny Hardaway and future picks. They will always draft the #1 prospect. Now, they may trade that prospect for needs, but they will always draft that #1 player. More recently, Boston could have had Markelle Fultz, right? They had the #1 pick, but they traded it to Philly and got Jason Tatum, the 3rd pick. If they thought Jason Tatum was the #1 prospect, why they just didn't draft him #1 instead of Markelle Fultz? Because he wasn't the #1 projected overall pick. You can get the #1 pick, trade him, and then you can get other picks and you can get the other thing you want. So that's what the NBA does. The NFL, if you got a quarterback, they're not going to draft the best quarterback again. They'll draft a wide receiver or something of that. Now, the NFL will trade up or down before the draft, but they won't draft that player anyway and then trade him. That doesn't happen. You had to jump in this, no question, is Mike. Thank you. And I'm about to break that down. Birds Nation, what's up, brother? Hey, thanks for the support on the super chat. I appreciate you, man. Everybody, I appreciate you with the super chat. Iverson come close. Wait, Allen Iverson come close, bring the greatest in his generation. Okay, I'm guessing you're saying Allen Iverson came close to being the greatest in his generation. No, he didn't. He was good. But he never made his teammates better. And he was too small. And that it limited him. But Iverson was no slouch. Don't get me wrong. All right. You don't know basketball very well. It's all right. Kobe. Okay, so if you go Kobe next to Jordan, Kobe could arguably be the 2nd best shooting guard. The 2nd best shooting guard in NBA history. But he's not, that doesn't make him the 2nd best player because Michael Jordan was the #1 best player and the #1 best shooting guard. Kobe is the 2nd best shooting guard of all time, but he's somewhere around in the top 10 players, in my opinion, offhand. If I start to write him down, then I'd have to see where he would fall. The only ring Melo ever cared about was the ring on Lala's finger after he saw that scene with her and Tommy. It was too late by then. Melo, top 10 scoring all-time NCAA champion, 3-time Olympic champion. And that's why I say Melo is leaning towards Hall of Fame, because he didn't win in the NBA, but he won in the Olympics and he won in college with Syracuse. And, well, I say he borderline Hall of Famer, leaning towards it. I say he leaning more towards Hall of Fame than not, because he was a hell of an offensive player. And it's a lot of people in the Hall of Fame that don't have NBA rings. Dominique Wilkins, Barkley, just to name a few. Iverson, you know, so it is what it is. Hey, what's up, Bap? How you doing, girl? All right. Who was better than AI back then? Well, Kobe was better than AI. Tracy McGrady was better than AI during their time as far as a dominant player. Now, AI did win the NBA MVP when he basically carried Philly to the finals. But Would you say AI was better than Kobe? Would you say AI was better than McGrady? I mean, we could go down the list of MVP. Rodman was the best rebounder of his generation. I agree. And it was about skill and how he was able to tip the ball to himself. Rodman was able to tip the ball to himself better than anybody else, whereas most people just grab the boards. He would tip 2, 3, 4 times sometime until he got it away from everybody. Okay, see, this is the problem right here. That's why I got to do this. So LeBron, the GOAT, yeah, right. LeBron is a great player, don't get me wrong. And I think LeBron would be a Hall of Famer in any era, but he's not the GOAT. For one, LeBron benefits from playing in the softest era in NBA history. The softest. Jordan played in the most difficult, most competitive NBA era. It wasn't in the expansion league, the 60s and 70s. It was a full league. Stars stayed. Teams built around their stars. He beat every team he beat in the finals was a 50-win team or better. The Sonics was a 63-win team. He never went to 7 games in the finals. He was 6-0. You could use hand checking in defense. You got fouled when you went to the lane. You got beat up. People used to fight, punch. None of that happens now. You take AI over T-Mac. If T-Mac didn't have the injuries with his height and he had a better team, I mean, when he was with Orlando, Grant Hill got injured, never got to play. How many of y'all remember that? Grant Hill was a beast. He went to Orlando, couldn't even play his whole career in Orlando because of one injury after another. So that's the difference with that. Whereas they did build a defensive squad around AI when he was in Philly with Mutombo and Eric Snow and all these people. You got your top 5: Jordan, Kareem, Kobe, LeBron, and Magic. That ain't bad. I'd have to think about that a little bit. I don't know about Kobe in my top 5 yet. What about a power forward? What about Shaq? Tim Duncan? I don't know about Tim Duncan, though. Most of the times you're right. But if you go statistics, so in basketball, the game is somewhat similar still, and it carries so many statistics, it's easy to see. So, it's a lot easier to understand. And you're right. I know this era is so soft. Matter of fact, I got a video I'm gonna play right quick. You say T-Mac was never better than Allen Iverson. He couldn't hold a candle to AI. All right, how many of y'all think Birds Nation is right? He a Philly fan now, so of course he gonna feel that way. But AI was a beast. This does not mean AI was a bum in no respect, of the way. But McGrady in Orlando was a beast. He was a beast. AI was a scoring machine. Now, he was good in steals, but AI was not a... McGrady never had a team around him like AI. MJ is definitely the GOAT. All right. MJ the best. I like Dr. J. Dr. J was a beast as well. But unfortunately, his best years was in the ABA. And when he finally won in the NBA, Moses Malone was the best player on the team. Dr. J was old by then. Now, D Rose is not a Hall of Famer, but he's about, man, that's a tough one, man. That is a tough one. If he ends up winning and playing a role as a good role or even a starter and win a championship, he may barely get in there before his, ballots is up. I don't think he a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he was on the way to being one. John Stockton was a hell of an assist man, but he did have Karl Malone that was ready to, take it every time he gave it to him. Karl Malone was a great finisher. T-Mac was better than AI. Hey, T-Mac gave Kobe fits. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you something right quick. Two things. One is about the NBA today. And I think I got another one saved that I'll show you. All right. And this right here come from the Bishop Don Magic Wand, baby. Even Don Magic Wand know this is facts. This is what it took to get a technical foul in the NBA in the 80s and 90s. A technical foul, not ejected, a tech. And then look what you get a tech for today. And you tell me this era ain't soft? They throwing blows. Look at that. Kareem snuck him. Shaq. He just bounced the ball. And he got a tech. Gave the ball to the ref underhanded. And got a tech. And then thrown out the game. I mean, how could this not be soft? Now, I understand the malice in the palace changed everything, and the NBA overcorrected out of fear. But, damn, you can't even bounce the ball to the ref? Cleaves, I don't think D Rose is going to get to the Hall of Fame if he was to retire today. I don't think so. Had he won in college, maybe, because the one thing about the Basketball Hall of Fame is that it's the Basketball Hall of Fame, not the NBA Hall of Fame. So you got people that are in the Hall of Fame because of their college career, because of their Olympic career. You got people from the European ball career. So, but he didn't win in college, although he took Memphis to the championship, to the game. So that's why I say I'm not sure that he would go to the Hall of Fame as of right now. I had another video over here I'm trying to look for. But if he was to win at least a championship in the NBA as the sixth man or as, the damn a starter, at least averaging 10 points or whatever, I think he will make it. This damn air got me my nose running, y'all, so you're going to have to bear with me. These lights make me hot, but then I can't be sitting here sweating. I don't see where this damn video is. I got a lot of stuff saved on here. Let me look another second. I probably done skipped it trying to hurry up too fast. Well, anyway, let me go ahead and get to this Jordan info right quick and show everybody the difference and why he's the GOAT. Let's see. Yeah, Moses carried that Sixers team to the championship. So you taking Iverson over T-Mac? So here's the thing. Iverson this is another thing where people look at either a Kobe or LeBron as being better than Jordan. Iverson had a longer peak than T-Mac. Iverson was at the top of his game longer than T-Mac. T-Mac was only at the top of his game for maybe 3 to 4 years. Then he got injured. Whereas Iverson had about a good 8 to 10 years of his peak. So does that make you better? Or did you have a better career? So Kobe had about 15 to 16 years of his peak, whereas Jordan only played 15 years. But it was all, well, with them 2 years at the Wizards, he was 38, 39 years old at the start of the season. He was 40 because Jordan's birthday is in February. So it was George Gervin that was the finger roll master. George Gervin was the finger roll. So that's what you all got to understand, is that their peak. LeBron has had a longer peak career. LeBron has been at the peak of his power for about, what is he, in his 18th year? So ever since like his 3rd year in the NBA, he's been averaging over 27 points a game. So you looking at what, 15 years, 16-year peak? That's longer than Jordan. He's been in his peak longer than Jordan played. Does that mean he was better than Jordan? You see, that's the thing. I agree. D Rose is borderline right now. He's on the wrong side of the border. He on the Mexico side of the border. He ain't on the USA side of the border. He trying to get in, is my point. So, yeah, you ain't. Yeah, I probably do need to wear a thinner shirt, cause yeah, I'm gonna go back to wearing the black shirt. So let me show y'all this right here for Jordan. Wait a minute. All right. And we can compare it to whoever y'all want to compare it to. Now, keep in mind, when I'm showing this, I can't see the comments. So don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm going to bring this up a little bigger so you can see. So Michael Jordan, rookie year. His very first year, he averaged 28 points a game. He came out the gate strong. 28 points a game, his rookie year. That's the most some people ever scored in their whole career. That was his very first year. This second, and he played every game, 82 games. He broke his leg. A lot of people don't know that. In Michael Jordan's second year, he broke his leg and only played 18 games. He averaged 22 points a game because the Bulls would not let him play more than 25 minutes a game. So in 25 minutes a game, he still averaged 22 points a game, coming off a broken leg, shooting 45%. Just think about that. How many people never averaged 22 points a game? He did it in 25 minutes. That's almost a point a minute. He almost averaged a point a minute his second year with coming off a broken leg. Okay. The next year, and pretty much every year, is 6 times Jordan didn't play every game in his career. The one time was when he had a broken leg. One year he just missed 1 game. Another year he missed 2 games. The next year he missed 4 games. This is the year he came back from retirement. So he was retired, came back with 17 games left in the NBA season. Played every game. At age 32, 33, 34, he played every game. Retired for 3 years. Came back at 38 years old, out of shape. Still averaged 22 points a game. Was playing 35 minutes a game. At 38 years old, playing 35 minutes a game, he played 60 games. The very next year, he still played 82 games, averaging 37 minutes a game at 39 years old. By the end of the year, he was 40 in February. And of course, he made All-Star both of those years. And he still averaged 20 points a game at 39 years old. And that's the lowest he ever scored in his career, was 20 points a game at the 39, 40-year-old. Okay. Every other year, 82, 82, 82, 82, 82, 82, 82. He played every game. He played damn near 37 minutes or better every year of his career. 40 minutes a game, 3 years in a row. How many of these guys play 40 minutes a game? He was getting beat up. You got to keep in mind, this is when you can get punched. You could get hacked. Your body takes a beating. These guys don't even play 40 minutes and don't nobody even touch them. They can't even play a full game and nobody even touching them. After he played that 18 games, his very next year, he played 40 minutes a game. 40 minutes a game. And averaged 37 points a game. A point a minute. Almost a point a minute. Without shooting threes. Without shooting threes. Think about that. Without shooting threes. James Harden came the closest to this 37 and Kobe. That's with a bunch of free throws and shooting a million threes. Jordan took less than 1 3 a game. He took less than one 3 a game. 0.8 threes. 0.8. He started his career taking less than one. He took 1 3 a game the year when his leg was broke. Then he didn't take another 3 again, more than 1 3 a game until what? 1, 2, 3, 4. His 5th year. Jordan reinvented himself, learned how to shoot. He went from 1 to 3, back to 1, 1, 3. He came up to 2, 3, 3. I mean, you can't beat that. So this dude was dominating with hand checks, with hacking, with fouls. Something that these guys cannot do now. Okay? Nobody could stop him. That's why I say if Jordan was able to play today, he would average 50 points a game. 50 points. It's just crazy. The next year, 35, 32, 33, 31, 30, 32. I mean, only person to ever have 7 straight scoring titles is Wilt Chamberlain and Michael Jordan. Nobody else won 7 in a row, dominated the NBA. People talk about Jordan didn't do this or that to Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen wasn't even in the NBA yet. Scottie Pippen didn't even get into the NBA yet when Jordan was doing this. He didn't come until 87, 88, which was Jordan's what? 1, 2, 3, his 4th year. Scottie Pippen averaged 7 points a game that year. Jordan was averaging 35. Scottie was averaging 7. He came back after retirement. He was out of shape. Out of shape. He still averaged 26 points a game. Almost 27, 26.9. Then his full year back in shape, 30, 29.6, 28.7. And that's 3 for 3 in the finals, 3 rings. He had 6 championships his last 6 full seasons with the Bulls. I mean, come on. At 38, 39 years old, Kwame Brown couldn't do what a 40-year-old man would do. That's why Michael Jordan had so much to say. Like, dude, you sorry if you can't do what a 40-year-old man could do. So, all right, let's see. That's right. MJ was a beast. MJ with the 45. Exactly. No, ma'am. What's up, Al Bundy? Married with children. No, ma'am. Jordan would have swept the 90s. Hey, for real. MJ kept his peers from getting rings. Facts. Facts. You got all of these Hall of Famers that would dominate today, from Barkley, Ewing, Karl Malone. None of them got rings because of Jordan. None of them. D. Rose would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer, possibly a 3-time champ if it wasn't for his injuries. I don't know about the 3-time champ because they still couldn't beat LeBron Miami team. We didn't have enough offense. D. Rose couldn't beat him by himself with Luol Deng and Boozer and Noah. But if Rose didn't get injured, he probably would have been the first ballot Hall of Famer. That's for sure. Because Derrick Rose still averaged 20 points a game. But his defense is horrible now. Speaking Jordan name to guys like Malone, Chuck, Payton is like saying Candyman 3 times. For real. For real. Yeah, I'm from Chi-Town, but I watched everybody get beat. Like, I watched it. I'm not just saying it because the Bulls, the only team with 6 rings in the modern era. But, you know, we could go head to head. I could pull up LeBron. How many finals has LeBron lost? LeBron leads in every statistic except titles. Don't do that. For one, it's a longevity to lead in statistics. LeBron has played more seasons than Jordan. LeBron has played more games than Jordan. So did Kobe. It took Kobe 20 years. 20 years to pass Jordan on the all-time scoring list. Think about that, bro. It took LeBron 18 years to pass Mike on this stuff. No, he didn't win the championship. I didn't say he beat the NBA by himself, but he helped Scottie Pippen develop into Scottie Pippen as well. Scottie didn't win no championships without Jordan, and he played 10 years without Jordan. I mean, if Scottie did so much and was so influential, why didn't he win with Portland? Why didn't he win with the Rockets? Why didn't he win without Jordan? Everybody want to pull Scottie nose into the hat. I mean, what did he win without Mike? Nothing. You say top 5, Jordan, Kobe, Magic, Larry Bird, Shaq. That's a good top 5. I don't know about Kobe. I would put LeBron over Kobe, man. LeBron is a better player than Kobe Bryant, though. He is. He wasn't a better shooter. And I'm not saying it like I'm, not a Kobe fan or, a LeBron fan. But, it is what it is. Reggie Miller didn't win because of Jordan. Gary Payton didn't win. Everybody lost because of Mike. Clyde Drexler. Clyde Drexler was probably top 3 or 4 shooting guards of all time. Jordan forever the GOAT in my book. Barkley, sorry, never deserved the ring. Our Rockets paid him for nothing. They did. By the time Barkley got paid by the Rockets, he was washed up. Although he still averaged like 10, 12 rebounds a game, he was washed up. Well, the difference is Jordan always beat teams like that. He owned the Spurs and David Robinson. Tim Duncan was never a dominant offensive force. Tim Duncan couldn't have stuck Michael Jordan on the perimeter. Tim Duncan wouldn't have been able to stop Jordan. That's like what Patrick Ewing, Jordan bust his head routinely. And so Patrick Ewing was a better scorer than Tim Duncan. Eventually, they would have got in foul trouble trying to protect the rim, trying to stop Jordan from dunking on their head, and they would have been on the bench, and it would have been a wrap. That's why the Twin Towers and the Spurs, period, never won back-to-back championships. Say what you want, they weren't consistent, and they got figured out. They had to always change up. Really, Tony Parker And Ginobili is what kept them going. Tim Duncan held it down. He was Mr. Reliable. But I think Tim Duncan only averaged 25 points one time in his whole career, just once. All right. I'm going to show y'all something. And the Rockets needed Clyde Drexler to win that second championship. They needed Clyde because they was like a 6th seed in the playoffs that year. They won the championship the first year in 94. In 95, they won as the 6th seed with Clyde Drexler because it was a trade in the middle of the year. All right. You say you'll take Kobe over LeBron. Yeah, Bron is more efficient, but in a big game and I need a bucket, Kobe all day. I'll go with that. If I need that bucket, I'm going to go with Kobe. But LeBron would make the team better overall. But Kobe is closer to Jordan as far as get that bucket. And you're right. The Rockets only won those 2 championships because Jordan was gone. People don't want to hear that, but it is true. Jordan used to beat the Rockets when he was there. People don't realize, too, those Bulls teams were elite defensively. They were elite defensive teams. Mike was light years ahead of LeBron as a defender. He could put the clamps on dudes. You're right. And I'm going to show you another thing right quick on why you was right. And a lot of people leave this out. Jordan was an all defensive team specialist every year. You can look at Jordan's stats. For one, he led the league in steals per game 3 times. He led the league in steals. He had 2.5, 3 steals a game, 3.2, 3 steals, 2.8, 2.7, 2.3, 2.8. I mean, he was an elite defender. But even if you go right here, 9-time all defensive team, 9-time, 10-time scoring champ. He won 7 straight, retired, came back, dominated 3 more times. Led the league in steals 3 times. All NBA 11 times. 5-time MVP. Defensive player of the year. That's normally a big man stat. Has LeBron won defensive player of the year? Has Kobe won defensive player of the year? Really? In 87, 88, when it was like the hardest time to play defense? And he was leading the league in scoring? So wait a minute. In 87, 88, this man averaged 35 points a game, 3.2 steals, 1.6 blocks as a guard. He's almost putting up 2 blocks a game as a guard. Okay. He's the defensive player of the year as a guard. We can go down to the stats right here and let's see how many people as a guard that won defensive player of the year. He might be the only one. I mean, it's probably one other person, but it probably really is just one other person. 3-time All-Star Game MVP. 14-time All-Star. He made All-Star every year of his career, except for the year he came back out of retirement. Had he have never retired, that's what, 3, 4, 5 years basically. So he would have had 19. So Jordan was around for 19 years, but he missed basically 5 seasons. Because really 6 seasons. Because he only played 18 games here and he only played 17 games here. And people talk about LeBron and Kobe got all the statistics. You got to take away 5 of his seasons. So to have all these statistics and this dude played what, just 13 years? 15 if you want to count. Really, you can't really count 2 of the years with the Bulls because he only played 18 games and 17 games. So he played 11 years with the Bulls and 2 years with Washington when he was washed up, still averaging 22 and 20. So he played 13 years total. And he was retired #2 in scoring. He's still #1 all time in scoring average. All these other statistics he had, they want to talk about LeBron and rebounds. Jordan is a guard. LeBron is a power forward, small forward. Jordan still averaged 6.5 rebounds, 6 assists. He was injured this year. 5 and 4.6, 5.5, 5.9, 8. He averaged 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 32 points a game. People act like Jordan couldn't rebound or Jordan couldn't pass, like LeBron, the only one that averaged 7 rebounds and 7 assists. Jordan put up 8, 8, and 32. LeBron has no season that could compare to this season alone. And I can pull up LeBron, 8, 8, and 32.5. Matter of fact, let me just show y'all right quick. 8, 8, and 32. LeBron is a 6-time all-defensive team player. Not defensive player of the year, though. All right. So LeBron James averaged 31 points one year. He had 7 assists and 7 rebounds and 6 assists. So that ain't 8, 8, and 32. But that was close. He led the league once in scoring. One time he led the league in scoring. People say, well, that ain't his game. Okay, whatever. Rebounding ain't Jordan's game either, is it? He put up 7.9 and 7.2. That still ain't 8, 8, and 32. Okay, he never scored 30 points again. 28, 29. Don't get me wrong. These are respectable numbers. Very respectable. Where I don't see that. What, he averaged 10 assists when he had Anthony Davis, who was top 5 NBA player in his prime, in his youth, when he was an old man. I mean, I don't see the comparisons. When he put up 8 and 8, he put up 27. He put up 8 and 9, it's 27. So when he was due, plus he had Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. Jordan never had a big 3 that could score and do everything that those guys had. LeBron didn't even get to go to All-Star game his rookie year. They could have probably put him in. He put up 20 points a game his rookie year. I mean, Jordan came out the gate putting up 28. LeBron started putting up 27 his second year. He got to 31 his third year. So I don't know. Let me see about these awards. And we'll see. Awards. Defensive Player of the Year. So this is normally a big man award. You got Giannis, Rudy Gobert, Draymond Green, Kawhi Leonard, Noah, Gasol, Tyson Chandler, Dwight Howard 3 times in a row, Garnett, Marcus Camby, Ben Wallace, Ron Artest, Ben Wallace, Mutombo, Alonzo Mourning, Mutombo, Gary Payton. Gary Payton is the only guard on here. Mutombo, Elijah Wan, Rodman, Mark Eaton, Jordan, Michael Cooper. So Michael Cooper made it, but he was a guard, small forward. But regardless, I say guard. Alvin Robertson was a great guard in steals. Mark Eaton, Sidney Moncrief. So they had a few then. Jordan was the last one, the last guard other than Gary Payton. Since Gary Payton, it hasn't been another defensive player of the year. Mutombo and Ben Wallace, the only ones to win 4 times. Dwight Howard 3 times. So, I mean, LeBron never won it. Let me go on back to see what y'all talking about. You say Mike resume like a video game. If they ever change the logo, it's got to be the Jump Man. For real. Let me put this link in here if anybody want to come on up and talk. I agree. Jerry West should be the logo for the pre-80s. The 80s and on should be the MJ. Yeah, Gary Payton won it once. So we just saw that. I don't know if LeBron got snubbed for Defensive Player of the Year. We know LeBron used to take defense off. Jordan take nothing off. Let's see. Let me catch up some of these comments. Scoring champ and Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, come on, man. That's the definition of both sides of the court. You leading the league in offense and you leading the league in defense. None of those people that I named did that. None of them. They were only able to do one or the other. Gary Payton was probably the closest one to put up some offense close to, you know, over 20-something points a game. But, you know, I sold you on Jordan. Hey, it's the truth. I got me a game. What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, bro? How you doing, man?
All right, all right. What's on your mind, man?
I had to mute you on the other side for a second. So I'm going to break this down so it can forever be broke so people can understand what's going on with this LeBron thing. So, and I'm not going to get too deep and psychological, but Jordan had a father that raised him. Number one, he went to North Carolina where he was mentored by Dean Smith.
Yeah.
Two. All right. Jordan.
So he came ready.
He came ready. He struggled at the beginning though, because like LeBron, he had to have the ball in his hands at all times. Once Tex Winters put that triangle offense in, and he learned to play off ball, kind of like Steph Curry does now, he was unstoppable. But let me tell you the issue with LeBron. The issue with LeBron, even more than the stats, man. LeBron takes credit whenever his teams win, and he spreads the blame whenever they lose. And I'm gonna show you something about his stats that will blow this out of the water forever. Whenever you look at LeBron and he's getting 25, 12, and 10, you say, okay, that's a hell of a stat line, right?
Right.
Look at his teammates' stats and look at their assists, and it tells you the whole story. So where LeBron might have 12 assists, in the box score, all his teammates might have 2.
Right.
What it tells you is LeBron is ball dominant. And if he can't make the pass to the score to get the assist, he won't make the pass.
Yeah. And that go back to what you said a second ago, where Jordan learned the system. LeBron only system is the LeBron system.
The LeBron system is this. I'm going to take the ball and drive to the hole and bust you in with my shoulder and try to get a foul and a layup, or I'll go to the hole, kick it out to a person sitting at 3, or I'm going to try to shoot 3. But the problem is that's what Jordan learned. Scottie Pippen has to have the ball so everyone can touch the ball. A lot of the time people that touch the ball with LeBron is when he's dishing out for an expected 3-pointer.
Yeah.
So what you're gonna see with LeBron, man, don't get me started. But what you're gonna see is every time he plays with 2 other superstars, one of their stars, their stats will go all the way down.
Chris Bosh and Kevin Love,
because they're not touching the ball. So Kevin Love got 20 points, 20 rebounds, but then he comes to Cleveland and he's a scrub. Wow.
Yeah.
The ball.
Right.
And that's the issue with LeBron. And the reason I brought up fathers is because people try to say, well, LeBron didn't have a coach to get him there. LeBron is so hard-headed, he won't have a coach. He picks his coaches.
That's a great point. Great point.
Where Jordan would say, okay, I'm going to submit to the system. LeBron he doesn't want to submit to anything except for his game, and that's why once LeBron leaves teams, they crater versus Jordan. Because guess what? I've learned to play around and let other people touch the ball, and then I've developed trust in my teammates. That's why anytime somebody goes out, LeBron is having to take over, and then they're saying he needs help.
Right. And that's also when he go on the bench, they teams always lose their lead because they don't know how to create no more.
Him. The whole offense is him. So and if you, I'll say this, man, you know, one day there may be a better basketball player than Michael Jordan, but he hasn't come today, and his name is not LeBron James, man.
Exactly.
We have never, we shouldn't even be debating whether Jordan is the best basketball player ever. We should be debating whether he's the best person in the entire history of sports. I mean,
hey, for real, you're right. You're right. And also, like, what's helping LeBron is, I give him credit to this. He take care of his body in an excellent way. Because if he didn't, his game would plummet. Because it's his athleticism that dominates everybody. He's so big, so strong, so fast, and he can pass and do this stuff that, like you say, he can run into you with that shoulder, and nobody can like deal with him, kinda.
But you know what the other thing about it though is, the reason he's able to do that is because he don't play defense on the other side. Remember when Kyle Kuzma pushed him in front of and like, get on your man LeBron? Like, remember when Kyle Kuzma had to push LeBron James to get in front of him? Yeah.
Anthony Davis even called him out on that.
And that's why he gets the rebounds, because he hangs around the rim where everybody else is playing defense on the perimeter, and then he gets the rebound. And I'll say this, and I let it go, man. Like, the main thing about Jordan, every single time he was challenged, he rose to the occasion. Do you remember that Kevin Durant came in the finals, popped that three on LeBron, game over? Okay, lose it. But remember what happened the year after. Look, Kevin Durant came down in the same way, and he's on LeBron. LeBron didn't want to be part of that highlight reel, so he switched off of his man and let another dude take Kevin Durant in the crucial game.
Jordan would have been on his ass. Jordan would have took that so personal. Jordan would have wanted Kevin Durant ass. Kevin could not have done that like that, and if he did, he really would have earned it. LeBron leaving so much space, you know, for them to do that. That it was like, man, come on, that's Kevin Durant. This the finals. Why are you letting him do this?
LeBron is part of this generation that's that you know, this new generation that they don't earn anything, but they want to be given the titles.
Right.
Jordan never said. Now, you know, in private, he was probably going around saying I'm the best, but he never was going around saying I'm the best ever. He said that was going to have to be other people making that decision for me. LeBron win one championship off of Kyrie's three in that block, and he's saying, well, I thought I was the greatest of all time. No, you're not, man. Right.
Not even close. And to Larry Jones' point, he's saying LeBron never had a field.
He would have kicked
2 points. LeBron wouldn't let wouldn't let a field change him. And remember, Jordan had Doug Collins, and they fired him. Field was nobody. So, like, he gave him a chance to be somebody. And he bought into the system.
You know, well, LeBron never had this. He never had that. But you know what, man? And this is the other thing, too, man. Like, just in terms of who you want your kids to be like. Do you want your kids to be given everything in life, called the chosen one when they're from high school? Or do you want them to, and then when they're losing, switch teams, switch
man.
Versus, I got cut from my high school team because I wasn't good enough, but I made myself better.
And that's what I like about Jordan and why he got on Kwame Brown ass. Because he said, look, you number one and you ain't good enough. Instead, Kwame Brown cry and say this and that. No, go work. Go take your ass and work. Jordan got cut. He didn't cry and say, forget basketball. He put in that work and came back and said, I'm going to show y'all you made a mistake. I'm going to show you.
I mean, losing to the Pistons, then come back and beat them. And in all fairness, though, Jordan is like Shaka Zulu, man. Like, would nobody ever keep it up with him? Like, take off your sandals. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
His level, and part of his challenge was he could not relate to people like a Magic Johnson. He couldn't really build them up unless he was breaking them down like a drill sergeant. But I get it, though. I get it.
Right.
He was the best.
He was the GOAT. Hey, S. Young, what's up, man? You want to chime in on this? Anthony just dropped some facts, man. I know you a younger generation. Bap, I was about to get to you.
No, I didn't came from the generation. I came from the 2000s.
Well, that's this generation in my book. So in your generation, then you what say AI or Kobe is the GOAT?
Kobe.
Come on, man. Kobe modeled his game after Mike, but Kobe I would put in a way over LeBron.
Yeah.
But LeBron has done more statistically. But like he was saying, so I can't remember who said it. If it's coming down to who I want on my team and the game on the line, I'm taking Kobe over LeBron.
Right.
Because I know he won it. He ain't going to get off his man on D, like Anthony just said. He going to take that shot, and he going to have that drive, that fire in him. Now, if I'm picking like on 2K, fantasy draft and I got to pick one guy to start or something like that, I may pick LeBron because the LeBron system can get you pretty far with not much. Like he took Cleveland when they had like nobody, when he was like what, his third or fourth year to the finals, but they got swept though.
Right.
So you get something, but you don't really get what you want though, so LeBron is a weird kind of player because he's not a bad player, but he's not the GOAT.
He's not.
And statistics are not everything, but they do matter too. So why you say Kobe is the GOAT to you
over Jordan?
Right?
Not in y'all. I said mine. Like.
Oh, okay. So do you think he better than Jordan or what?
No, nobody can touch 23. Nobody can touch that man. So you gotta give respect. You gotta give respect that man, because that man had built guys, legacies, built careers. Because you gotta give his props and everything. Because if it wasn't for him, there would have been no many players that would have been that we wouldn't see the NBA in our age. So you gotta have to say no, he's not better than Jordan. But I'm saying the reason why I picked Kobe from my generation, because me, he was like our Jordan, our Jordan to them.
Right. And I mean, he used to call Mike.
He got 5 championships.
He do got 5. And he did want that on his own without Shaq, too.
Yeah.
And he got to 3 of them. He lost 1. It was in 7 games, though he lost that one, or it was 6 games to Boston.
I think it was 6 games to Boston. I think it was 6.
Yeah. You remember Anthony was a 6 or 7?
I think it was 6.
Yeah, it might have been. So he won in 7, I think, against Boston because they was injured that next year. KG, then he won in 7. So yeah, but he made Gasol a better player. He helped make Bynum a better player. Bynum was about to be the best center in the NBA at one point. Kobe was holding him accountable. He did get injured, and then he didn't want it no more.
Yeah.
But Kobe, man, and I agree with Sheena, man. People could say what they want, man, but the league would not be what it is today without MJ. Go ahead. I was just gonna say he didn't change the game.
He changed the game, man. And the problem with that statement too is the league wouldn't have been where it is today without MJ. But look at the league now today with LeBron versus with MJ. The ratings at an all-time low. The game is just different. And I've been sitting here watching this Nets game. I don't even remember looking up hardly. And LeBron, for all intents and purposes, he ruined the league. So when you see these stars teaming up, remember LeBron did that first.
Yeah.
You say, oh well, he was carrying them against Golden State. No. This is what he started.
Right. And he wanted to do it because Boston teamed up, but they were all over 30 though.
That was trades. It was
trades. It was organic.
It was trades too.
It was trades.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and they were already over 30, which that's happened when team stars have, went to the other end of their career. They'll team up. Like you can't do it on your own no more. These dudes are teaming up at 25.
Jumping on the bandwagon. I heard Golden State trying to make a move on Giannis. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. Getting ridiculous. And another thing you pointed out that was so important, man, is that when possible, and this is another reason why the ratings are so low, but whenever possible, Jordan played every night.
Yes.
So you knew if you paid money to buy a ticket that he was going to be there and he was going to play. Half of these guys now, they sit out the regular season waiting on the playoffs, and then they want to pretend that their championships hold the same value as somebody that played 82 games and went through all those series. It doesn't. And I'll say this too. Had LeBron not had 5 months off last year, they wouldn't have won that bubble championship.
No,
you know
I don't think so either. And you're right. Jordan even said, I play every game because it's always somebody that paid their money to come see me. And I'm about to show them what they came to see.
That's it, man.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Birds Nation, what's up, brother?
What's going on, bro?
We got a Philly fan in here. What's up on your mind, Philly? I know Jordan then broke y'all hearts.
Yeah, I mean, he broke a lot of people's hearts. I still consider him the GOAT. As greatest athlete in sports. I mean, I think Tom Brady might have something to say about that, but nobody's coming close to him in the NBA. I mean, Kobe's a distant number two.
Tom Brady, I would say, benefited from a system, though, because he was never like the best QB, though, every year. Like Aaron Rodgers was considered better than him. Peyton Manning been considered better than him. He's won the most. Now, him going to Tampa and winning without him, but then he stacked his teams like LeBron, though.
He did. He had AB.
Yeah, he didn't stack his team, so I don't know, man. But it is more difficult to win in football as much as he won. I will give him that. So he is the most winningest football player. Now, let me ask you this, because you was commenting. You said AI is better than T-Mac in T-Mac prime. AI, I would say, had about a 10-year prime, whereas T-Mac had about a 4-year prime. Because when he was with Houston, he was good, but that wasn't his prime. His best years was in Orlando, but it was kind of wasted.
Yeah, he was good. I used to like watching him in Orlando. I was a big fan of Penny and Shaq. I was mad when Shaq went to LA. I thought he sold out. And I hated him ever since after that. But AI was the man his whole career with us in Philly. I mean, he had so many. I remember they showed the chart of all the bones he broke in his body. And it was like almost every bone.
Oh, yeah. To be so little, he was fearless. I give AI credit on that. If AI was 6'6" or 6'7", he could have probably gave Mike a run for his money. But being 6'1", 160, he was just too. Yeah, he was just too little. But he still accomplished a lot, though.
Yeah, the only thing he missed out was the ring. I mean, I wish he could have got a ring. I mean, one time we did make it to the finals. I mean, LA just made us look weak, like we didn't even belong there. Like we got the first game, but then after that, it was a wrap.
Right. Now, this T-Mac prime right here, highlighted. Orlando, 4 years. He went up 26.8, 25, 32, 28. So it wasn't that long, 4 years. Now, when he went to Houston, he put up 25, 24, 24. But his worst year was 25 points in Orlando. You see, that was his best year in Houston, 25, 24, 24. Then he wasn't all-star no more after that. 21, 15 points. Then the rest is history, as they could say. So if he was able to keep this a little longer going, and remember, Grant Hill was his only teammate, and he was injured the whole time.
Yeah.
So, now AI put up these 32, 28 numbers like a lot longer. So I give him that. But the thing with T-Mac is him being 6'7", So here's AI. He put up 23, 22, 26. Then he got 28, 31, 31, 27, 26, 30, 33. So he had what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. 7 years versus his 4. And then even after that, he still was an all-star, you know, when Philly, and Philly shouldn't have traded him that year. He was still averaging 31 that year.
I think he was
They
having
traded
some
him to
problems with upper management.
Yeah,
Larry
he
Brown.
was. There's Larry Brown was tired of him.
Yeah.
Because AI is similar to LeBron in the sense that he played the AI system,
Yep.
which is why he couldn't come off the bench.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And why he wouldn't become a shooting guard, he needed that ball in his hand all the time too. And
Yeah,
that's why
definitely.
he
I
didn't
agree
do
with
well
that.
with Melo, because he wanted to score more than Melo, really.
Yeah,
When Melo was the prime player.
I remember he had Stackhouse at the beginning of his career, and they couldn't get along.
Man, that would have been a great tandem if they could have stuck that out, though.
Yeah.
Because Stackhouse ended up being a hell of a scorer, but he got traded too many times. His best years was in Detroit, though,
Mm-hmm.
when he finally got the rock.
Yep.
You know. So let me ask you this. What you think about LeBron? How close does he come to being the GOAT in the Jordan conversation? We done heard from Anthony and S. Young. What you think about LeBron in the GOAT conversation?
I don't think he comes close at all. I hate his game. Yeah, I hate it. Like, I'm sure he would have got called for traveling a lot back in those days. He takes way too many steps. He looks like a tight end out there. Like, he should be playing for the Browns or something.
Right.
I mean,
Hey, man, these dudes travel a lot in the NBA now, man.
Yeah.
A lot. James Harden, man. Whoa. Man.
Skates on, you know?
For real. For real.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. The game's not like it was. I was also a big fan of Tim Duncan and Tony Parker back in the day. I watched Tim Duncan Wake Forest. That's how old I am. I watched all 4 years of Wake Forest. And I like his game because of the fundamentals. You don't see that anymore.
That's true. That's true. And that's what Anthony was kind of saying about Mike coming from North Carolina with Dean Smith. His game was more polished when he came out, man. And these guys, that's why, you know, people talk about Kwame Brown and all these guys, that they're coming out of here from high school. They didn't even work on their game. You got to think, you only 18, 19, which you had 4 years to work on you only, you know what I mean? You was a what, since you was 14?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what do you ain't did nothing yet. You ain't really learned the aspects of basketball fully. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they don't work on their game. You know, how long it take Dwight Howard to try to shoot or do something?
I think when Stan Van got
Last year, when he knew he was about to no longer have a job, he figured I might as well try to shoot a quarter three.
That's what's about to happen to Ben Simmons, y'all. I'm starting to get irritated with him.
Man, he could be the best player in the NBA right now.
Yeah, he could.
He could, man. I mean, he's got everything except he can't shoot and won't shoot.
I don't know why he's scared. I don't know. Yo. I mean, he act like he act like a little broad. Yo. Like, what are you scared of? Just
no. To me, when I call Ben, I call like Jay. You watch Sunset Park, right?
The movie, basketball movie.
Yeah, he like Drano. He like Drano. When Drano was yeah, that's what I said. I compare.
I ain't seen it in forever.
Yeah.
What you know about Sunset Park, man? Came out in the 90s, boy. Right.
That was my movie back in the day.
Spray Dro Star and shit.
Yeah,
but
and speaking of the Spurs, I was gonna throw this in too, man, and that's another reason. I'm gonna say this, and then I got a question for you, Jay. The Spurs blew out LeBron by the widest margin in NBA Finals history. Why are we even? And I guess that goes to the next question. Like, why are people even considering that man as better than Jordan? What do you think? Where do you think it comes from?
Man, I think that part of the problem is just like people don't work on their game now, fans don't study the game now. Yeah. So like when I was coming up watching that, like people would mention like Oscar Robertson. I'd go like look him up or try to figure out what he did. Nowadays, people be like, oh, whatever. This dude is better. Don't even look it up. And now you can look this stuff up on YouTube or on the internet so easy. You know, like when I heard Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points, I had to look this stuff up. It wasn't, I had to read it. But like I would look the stuff up and be like, damn, this dude averaged 50 points and 25 rebounds in the season. Damn. Now, of course, he was the only damn 7-footer in the league, and it wasn't that many teams, but he didn't even come out the game. So, like, even to play damn near every minute of every game is a feat.
Yeah.
And you didn't get tired?
Man.
You didn't get tired, bro? Like, damn. You didn't get tired? And didn't foul out? That's crazy. You know it was hacking.
Oh, man. Come on now.
And then, you know, it was a lot of, you know, prejudiceness going on then, of course. So, you know, they probably was hitting them in the nuts, all kind of stuff. This dude kept playing. Like, come on. That's crazy.
Well, to me, it comes to me. That's to me. It comes to the fans because they're type of fans to look over the stats, to look over the stats, than looking over the IQ to see how they play. They just go down the stats, and like, okay, well, this guy LeBron, he's better than Jordan because look at his numbers. He's more this and that. And that's how the LeBron better than Jordan conversation came up.
Right.
They look at his
people don't look it up. Like, look at this. Wilt Chamberlain, 3rd year in the league. He played 80 games. It's 48 minutes in the game. He played 48 and a half minutes a game.
Mm-hmm.
So he like played in overtime too and didn't come out.
Man,
how can you do this, man? For 80 games, you didn't come out the game. And you averaged 50 points, 25 rebounds.
Yeah.
Damn.
What was the generation soft?
Man, like these dudes is like they could barely play 30 minutes a game, and they don't play every game.
So I hear young folks, they try to say that the athletes now are better, and to a certain degree, I'd say, yeah, you have better health, you have better nutrition, you got better trainers, stuff like that.
Overall,
right? Well, people don't understand. Jordan was running a 4.340.
Right.
4.2, 4.340. And he still, I don't know if it's still standing, but he had the record for the highest vertical in the history of the league. I think it was like 40 inches, 36, something like that.
It was something like that. He did. He had a hell of a vert. And he was breaking backboards in college and the Olympics.
Did you see that pickup game, or it was a camp game where he literally broke the backboard with a one-handed dunk?
Yeah.
Shattered the glass everywhere.
Shattered the glass. Yeah.
Oh my God. The man is sick. He was sick.
And that didn't even get released to like after he was retired. People got to see that. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, Jordan, a lot of stuff, man. Jordan was ahead of his time, man. Way ahead of his time.
That game started changing. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was gonna say, what do y'all think Jordan would be doing now if he was in the league?
50 points a game, easy. Easy. He was almost dropping a point a minute, like I was showing earlier, when you could get hacked and hand checked. You know what I mean? When people would punch you in the face if it came down to tech, and that was just a tech. You just got a free throw for a fight. You know what I mean? Like you get kicked. Like these dudes could not touch. You can't hand check. You can't stop them. It would be nothing they could do. And Jordan worked on his game even then to be able to shoot threes. Imagine if he could shoot 10 threes a game.
He'd be doing this every night.
Every night. And he did that for just hitting 5.
Yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah, man. If James Harden, he could barely get off the ground, man.
And I hate
you know what I'm saying? Could barely get off the ground at 6'4", can average, 36, 37 points a game. Jordan would definitely average 50, without a doubt. And they don't even play 40 minutes a game. And they don't play every game.
Man.
The best LeBron ever played was 42 minutes a game, and that was his 2nd and 3rd year. And then he never played 40 minutes a game after his 1, 2, 3, 4. After his 5th year, he never played 40 minutes again.
Wow.
Never played 40 minutes again. Now this year he played 33. Last year 34. I mean, like Jordan played 40 minutes a game almost every year.
Amazing.
I think when the game started changing, when the Spurs won their first championship, right after the lockout, it was a shortened season. After that lockout, the game just wasn't the same. Something changed. I couldn't put my finger.
Oh, I know exactly what changed. It's the malice in the palace.
That's
when
what
the Pacers, the Pacers and the Pistons fought with Ron Artest in the stands. That's what changed it. David Stern didn't allow no more fighting because it was a technical foul that Ben Wallace and Artest got into it.
Oh,
they kind of threw some blows a little bit, and that's why Ron Artest went to the scorer's table to chill out.
It was it was like mainly a push. Ron Artest didn't do nothing. He just sat there,
Right. Well, I mean, Ben Wallace would have whooped his ass. I mean,
definitely.
he did the right thing. Ron Artest was no hope, and he wasn't stupid. He was crazy, but he wasn't stupid. Big Beard would have beat him down.
Look, you see how this man did it? No.
Yeah, Big Bear would have put them hands on him, so he chilled. And you know what's the worst part is that the Pacers had a squad that year, man. The Pacers had a squad that year, man. That was Jermaine O'Neal at his best. Ron Artest was at his best. They had Reggie Steele. They had a lot of Steven Jackson was at his best then. They had like 3 people that could score 20 points or better between O'Neal, Steven Jackson, Artest. Reggie Steele was good for 10, 15 points a game. They had a deep bench.
They did.
That was it. It was
golden there.
Yeah. No, ma'am said the reason a lot of people say this about LeBron is his recency bias.
Yeah, just like you said, people don't do their work.
Yep. Straight up. He said Will was playing against plumbers and milkman. That's funny. So that goes to the point of what hold on. That goes back to what Anthony was saying about when people say the NBA athletes are better today than then. So maybe the starters on those teams may still make it, but damn near everybody on the benches wouldn't probably make it to the NBA today. You know what I mean? Like the 10th man on the NBA bench now would probably be a starter or a star back in those eras. I give them that because everybody is so athletic and jump, run, but the fundamentals is not all there. But just off of athleticism, they could probably dominate in those eras.
Yeah, I think that works for Wilt's era, but for Jordan's era, I think it was a little different because those dudes were more like football players. You know what I'm saying? They had the muscles and the Karl Malones and the Sean Kemps. They were big, Charles Oakleys. And it goes back to, thinking about like, okay, in this recent era, everybody know one of LeBron's nastiest dunks was when he was in Miami and caught that alley-oop on Jason Terry. But Jason Terry was what, 6'1", 6'2"?
That's being generous.
Right? But Jordan, on the other hand, we know some of his stories was, he dunked on the dude at Utah, and then
Ewing.
Ewing. And the guy said, you need to dunk on somebody on side. So next time he down some dude that was like 7'4", and he was like, "Is that good for you?" He was dumb. So I think athletes today might be quicker and faster, but I think the guys then were stronger because Curry would not have survived in the 90s.
Yeah, you saying who? Steph Curry?
Man, he would have been beat up every night.
Yeah, especially early in his career when his ankles were still messed up.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have made it. The only thing I think Steph Curry could have still been a good player, not a 30-point player and not an MVP player, but he would have been a decent player because he does have range and he does have dribbles. Yeah. And his father was a good player, so he may have been a similar 15-point per game player. You know what I mean? I give him that. But Dale Curry could have been a star in the league today.
Man, but he was taking too many elbows from Charles
Man.
Oakley and you know, Sean Kemp
and checks.
Man.
You know, everything. People was up on you.
Mm-hmm.
You can't touch nobody now. So you giving them so much space. I mean, and then the rules have changed where you can't shoot no damn ball from half court in a day. Man, sit your ass on the bench, man. What the hell are you doing, man? Get your ass out of here, man. You throwing this up at the logo.
Exactly.
But now they're like, well, he hit it. Oh, well, keep going. Come on, man. And these players, I get it. Basketball make a lot of money. I'm not saying that they shouldn't get a piece of it because they are the show. They are the product. But they make so much money without accomplishing the stuff, you know, for the most part. James Harden, a lot of these players, you know, not to say they ain't good and shouldn't get paid, but like Jordan was the highest paid because he was the best. You know, some of these players are highest paid just because their contract is up next. Like, what? This ain't right.
That might change if they keep on ditching games and the revenues for the league keep dropping because ain't nobody watching these games. I got the Phoenix game on now. I'm probably one of the few people that I know still has this game on. Most of them tune in on times, but a lot of people just go to YouTube and watch the highlights.
That's what I do. And because the games is gets so boring, too much of it. They don't really play till the fourth quarter most of the times.
Man,
they don't really play.
You remember the 90s when you used to go? It's like the first round was the best part.
Right.
Oh my gosh, everybody thinks they can win, and then you can. Man, I barely watch these games. I just keep them
right. Right. And they make all their money off of TV versus the stadiums now, so they don't care about the fans.
Exactly.
John, what you were saying?
Oh, to me, what different was this now it's like players relying more on threes. Now, no centers. They a little bit more now focus on threes. Instead of but like y'all era 90s, y'all get players the post, give them to the post, drive in. That's more different than it. Then now you got people. Now you got free agencies. Now free agencies now one of the signs. Next superstar, signed to a next superstar.
Yeah.
That's basically what Larry Jones saying. In a way, I kind of don't like this though. I get it and I understand it, but it makes the league weak to me because everybody keep changing teams every 2-3 years. Like, it's cool that they got the power and that they keeping the owners on their heels with these 2-year, 3-year deals, but it's hard to follow and root for your team when the whole roster turns over damn near every 2-3 years. And you got the management trying to bow down to these players and trade everybody. Like the Bulls, like they traded Wendell Carter and a few other players for Vucevic. I'm like, man, we ain't about to make the playoffs. No way. What is they doing? Damn. Now, what if he go in to beat somebody in Orlando and we stuck with this dude that's damn near on the end of his career with a young Zach LaVine? Like, now we back. Man, the Bulls made so many bad trips. Didn't want to keep Jimmy Butler. We got lucky getting Zach LaVine out the deal, but they don't want to build around him. Now they talking about trading Markkanen. Gave up on Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, he was on some bull, but
he got hurt a lot.
He did, but we see he's still a 20-point a game player, though.
Yeah.
We could have did something with him.
Definitely for top players' healthiness. Now, the top players' healthiness now, they don't have the time. These star players today, they don't have the time to recover their body. Unlike the other areas, they don't have the time to recover their bodies. They'd always be injury prone.
Right.
Like say example like Anthony Davis. He's a very injured.
That's also something I look down on. Like, how you so big and strong and you hurt all the damn time? That's embarrassing, man.
The reason why, because he plays like guard. He wasn't supposed to play a power forward. It's his height growth. He kept growing.
Right. He had a growth spurt. I get it. That makes sense. That's a good explanation. But it's a lot of big men that's always hurt, though.
Right.
Yeah, Joel is always hurt.
Oh man,
They always get
Right.
hurt in the playoff. Like,
man, and he want to shoot threes. I don't like
All
big men shooting all these damn threes either, man.
in there and yam it.
that's
You know what I'm saying?
that's how the generation goes. Like I said, they're now you got all positions shooting threes now. Folks relying on threes too much. You know,
Yeah,
instead of working to the post and getting drive in.
right. I mean, I play a big man game on 2K.
Yeah.
On 2K, I'm a dominant big man. Okay. When I be running, I'm like Dwight Howard in his prime. I'm holding down the paint. I'm grabbing boards. I'm dunking. These fools be wanting me to shoot threes. I'm like, man, no, that's your job, man. What the fuck? Man, man, why you ain't in the corner? Because, dude, I'm the damn center. What the hell, man?
But you know
And
who
then
started
how many times do people run down and shoot a three with like 22 seconds on the shot clock, 21 seconds? I'm like, man, what the fuck is y'all doing, man? I'm not even half court to try to at least rebound for your broke ass.
The Spurs started it. The Spurs started it, man. When they went into that finals with the Heat, and they showed how it was all about that hockey assist, man. Just keep passing the ball till you get that open shot. And they blew the Heat out, and people were wondering what the heck just happened. And Golden State picked up that same type of style with some hellified shooters, with the best in the history of the game, really.
Yeah, you're right.
With it.
Yeah, because Draymond Green is like a better Boris Diaw from that offense. Remember they had him do it? Yeah, and the Heat didn't know what to do with him because Bosch couldn't stick him out there on the perimeter, and then he could pass, and so that threw them off. Now Draymond did it throughout a whole year, and then he's strong, so he's able to do it, but he could never do that back in the real day, playing as a center at 6'7", man. Come on, for real. Never.
That's not how I was taught to play the game. I know it don't look like it now, but I used to play when I was young. And my dad would teach me dribbling, shooting, passing. But he would never let me take threes. He was like that, when he grew up, there was no 3-point line.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you're supposed to play inside out. As you are getting in the inside, then they collapse on the D inside, which then leaves the outside open. The closer you are to the basket, the easier it is to make the shot.
Man,
high percentage, yep.
Right.
Have you noticed there's a lot of guys now, what they do is they'll drive all the way into the basket, and instead of shooting it and trying to take it to the hole hard, they'll still focus on trying to kick it back out to the three.
Yes, they do that on 2K all the time, and it's mostly younger people that be playing that, and I'll be like right there. So when they drive, the D will collapse on them. They could just dump it to me. I'm the center, and I'll dunk it. They throw that shit all the way back out there for this dude to shoot a brick. I'm like, man, what the fuck are y'all doing, man? He was open. I was open too, fool. What the hell?
Wow.
And it creates so much fast break, back and forth, just throwing up bricks, boom, boom, boom. And if the other team is hot, you down by 10, 20 points, just like that. Just like that. Then they don't stick D, like nowadays. They want the center to just let their man blow by them, and I'm supposed to just stick all their men when they come past them or whatever. Like, man, I ain't Tyson Chandler.
I forgot one thing was different. Those was different. I mean, the competition basically definitely was the competition. Because now in the 90s era, oh my God, it was very the competition. Nowadays, like, hey man, what's up, man? Good game, yo, man. Like opponent's teammates, like rooting for your opposite. Like they're still friendly on the court. Like that's really was the problem for me was just less competition, just more friendliness.
Yeah, I mean they don't have rivalries because they don't stay on the teams long enough. Plus, they all played that AAU ball together, so they all buddy anyway. Like Jordan and Barkley was friends, but Jordan wanted to beat his ass every game, like to rub it in your face. Like that's what me and my friends would do playing ball. They wanted to beat me to tell me I ain't shit. I wanted to beat them to tell them they ain't shit in the same old games, all of that. But
Man.
nowadays they don't want to do that too much because that's my friend. I just want to win. He was good though.
Yeah.
This, that, nah, man. Come on, man.
That's a masculine thing, though. That's what men do, and that's why I initially brought up, you know, the fatherless situations that a lot of us have grown up in over these past years versus Jordan, because that's a form of love, man.
Right.
I gotta compete against each other and bring out the best in each other. Then I'll beat you and shake your hand. But,
right. Then you get my respect. Then you feel better about it too.
Yeah.
It wasn't given to you. You earned it.
Exactly.
You climbed that mountaintop. You know,
Exactly.
I give my son a hard time, not because, you know, I don't love him or I'm mad at him. It's because I don't want things for him to be so easy. And when he does do or accomplish something, I want him to know he accomplished something and made it, you know, and that I'm proud of you. Like, you did it. Don't do when he was younger, be like, oh, well, forget it. You said I'm not going to do this. No, prove me wrong.
Exactly.
You know, shut me up. You know what I'm saying? You prove me wrong. Don't just say, oh, well, forget it. That's what you think. No. If you really want me to stop thinking that way, then you need to prove me wrong. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you do it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
LeBron want people to stop thinking or to start thinking he the GOAT, but it's too late.
It's too late.
You know,
11 points versus the Mavericks.
you're right.
Finals losses.
And then what really sealed the deal is when he lost with the Heat, with Wade and Bosh. Like, come on.
To Dallas, yeah. But Dirk was a beast. Dirk was a beast, though.
Well, I mean, even when he lost with the Spurs, because it was bad when he lost to Dallas. But people could say, well, that was his first year or this, that, and the other, which is weak excuses. But ain't nothing they could say about him losing to the Spurs.
You know, if it wasn't for Ray Allen hitting that last second corner three, and if it wasn't for Kyrie hitting that last second 3-pointer, you're
right. You're right. Yeah. So, man, and building your team and all that, man, is just that's a whole nother strike against you too. Yeah, and I think Kevin Durant then took it to a whole nother level that's made it worse.
That's it for LeBron and Braun and Durant. The reason why I say they can't be ghosts because what they did is like it's going to affect your legacy in your career. Once you won and when if you play or when you retire, it's going to haunt you because some people like us, we're going to talk about that.
Exactly.
So that's why I feel like they can't be ghosts because that's going to stay on their record.
Hey, and you remember, even when Durant won in Golden State, he wasn't happy.
Right.
He knew he hadn't earned it. Really.
Right. I mean, you joined a 73-win team. What everybody knew what was going to happen. You know, it don't matter if you won the MVP in the finals. Like, you an MVP player. You shouldn't have joined them.
Exactly.
You almost beat them the year before, and then you just gave up. Right.
Yeah, it's like just gave up.
Yeah. Just gave up. Like Mike would have came back so strong that next year for that.
Oh my gosh. Remember that's when they won that 72 wins after he came, he tried to return and had problems with the Magic. Clean sweep.
Clean sweep. Hey, excellent point. Mike got embarrassed when he came back and got ripped by Nick Anderson in the playoffs.
And the Magic.
Yeah, he was embarrassed and he came back and dominated the NBA.
Yeah, because now let's say when they took a tough loss, that's I want to go to another team. But now for Jordan, he's like he went to the gym, work his butt off, and got better and beat those Magics.
Yeah. You know. Yeah. So
I'm gonna get out of here, but it was good talking to all y'all.
Oh yeah, man. Same here, man. I'm gonna get ready to wrap this up in a second, man. Anything you want to say before you get out of here, man?
I do want to ask you one question about the shot.
Go ahead.
What's Trey's girl's name?
Imani.
Yeah, that's the kind of girls y'all go for in the shot.
Man, shut up, man.
Man,
shut up, man. Hell no, man. That's a TV show, man.
Yeah, talking about
That was funny though. That was funny, man.
I'll talk to you later, Jay.
All right.
we gotta talk about this someday about this episode.
Yeah, man. I got some videos coming out about that, and I talked about it yesterday. Sunday?
Episode 2.
Yeah.
I
talked about it Sunday, but I'll be back Friday. We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
some more. But
hey man, just keep doing your thing. I love your channel, bro. And sometimes I don't even watch the shows. I just watch your review while I'm getting ready for work or something, just for a laugh, man. So keep doing your thing, bro.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thanks, man. And it was good talking to you, man.
You as well.
Yeah. I see you know your NBA, man. That's what's up.
I know a little bit. I know LeBron ain't gonna win this year. I'm looking at the game right now.
Hey, he can't beat Phoenix. When Chris Paul was healthy, they was in trouble.
Hey, Phoenix is up about 8 points, 8 points right now.
Damn. And see, that's where it come back to bite LeBron also, is that he got that big head that you think you could turn it off, turn it on. Jordan thought that when he came out of retirement and he got beat by Orlando and he realized, okay, I'm about to turn it on and I ain't turning it off. You know what I'm saying? And he played every game when he came back for 3 years straight, none taken off. LeBron, he don't get it.
He don't get it, man. And, for me, I wouldn't have no problem with LeBron if it wasn't for the fact that he was trying to obviously displace Mike. I mean, I even remember when he was playing at Charlotte and Mike was on the side of the court and LeBron was open for a free breakaway dunk, and then he gonna try to look at Mike while he's doing it. I was like, come on.
Right.
I was like, come on, bro. Like,
early. For me, I think he's trying to chase Mike. He's trying he's like following Mike because Mike did Space Jam. He's doing Space Jam,
Yeah, and he wore 23.
He's wore 23, and he's trying to catch 6 just like Jordan. He's trying to catch MVPs like Jordan. Yeah.
Hey,
that's why he put on that 6 in Miami. He said it was for Dr. J. Yeah, right.
It was upside down now. Y'all remember The Wire, right? Y'all remember Marlo Stansfield?
Right. Yeah.
He never really got the respect that he wanted, that Avon got, and the love that Avon got.
Yeah, and that's how the war became. Yeah.
Right.
He's like the Marlo. You know.
And LeBron has said, "I'm chasing ghosts right now." You ain't Ghostbusters. You ain't about to get him.
This ain't Poltergeist.
Right. You ain't the Exorcist. It's over. The MJ that ship is sailed.
Exactly.
And he ain't doing nothing but getting older. I think really the best thing he could do just to do it is to just play with his son when it win or if he make it.
Good.
But you ain't about to surpass Mike. And even if you do get 6 rings, you had to have Anthony Davis and all these players and trade and change teams and coaches and do this and do that. Like, you had to do so much.
Exactly.
And Jordan, to his credit, won 3 championships with 2 different teams, really. The only teammate was Scotty. Yep. That's the only one. And he didn't pick him. I mean, they had a meeting with Rodman before he came.
Yeah.
But he didn't say bring Rodman. They had to see if it was okay because they wanted to bring Rodman, Jerry Krause and them.
Yep.
And that was through trade because they traded Will Perdue, which that was a good trade.
They just lost the Magic and they lost Horace Grant.
Yeah.
So they said we need another power forward.
Right. Horace Grant was already on the Magic then.
Yeah,
Jordan lost to them.
Another forward that could be just better at Grant than once they got Robin. Because mind you, in the beginning of the season, Robin was there. Mike was still playing baseball.
Yeah,
he didn't came to the end of the season, so
right.
It's end.
And if they didn't go on strike, baseball, he may not even came back then. Who knows?
The owner said he would have made it to a major league team. He would have made it.
Yeah.
So, and just that you brought up Pippen earlier. It has to be said that MJ in many ways made Pippen because going every day of practice with MJ, that's what made him tough. That's what made him a defender. So it's not that when Pippen came, everything changed. Because remember, Pippen was out. Well, the reason when they lost to Detroit that final time, Pippen had blanked out. He had that migraine.
Yeah, migraines, right.
Yeah, and then the last year that Jordan won the championship, he was carrying him without Pippen. When Jordan hit that shot that game, Pippen was just a decoy. He had a messed up back.
Yeah,
he wasn't doing anything.
He didn't even make All-Star that year. And he was mad about his contract a lot too. He didn't want to play.
Yep.
And here's another thing for Scotty right here. I'll make it so people can see. Like he came into the league averaging 7.9 points a game. Then 14. Then Jordan had him up to 16 and a half. That's the year he made All-Star. That's the year he had the migraines. In 89-90. Because their first championship was in 91. Remember 91-2-3.
Right.
So his first championship, they didn't even put him in the All-Star game.
Yep.
And that was at 17. Then they went to 21, 18, 22. So he became a star with Jordan. Nobody ever became a star with LeBron. Never. Nobody. No, they all had to be already a star to play with LeBron.
And they
actually went down, like you said earlier.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and then the way LeBron plays, they should have went up since he's such a pass first type of guy, but that ain't what happened. They looked at Chris Bosh and Kevin Love as less than. And I feel bad for Chris Bosh because the year that he played without LeBron, he went back up to balling again with Miami. That first year that he left, but then he had like blood clots or something.
Yep.
And had to retire early.
So that just shows you. And it's impossible for a three-headed monster to exist because if you look at what Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie are doing, it's somehow working. The reason it's working is because Kevin Durant does not need the ball in his hands. He can spot up, he can play off ball. Kyrie, to a certain degree, he has to have it. And they've all sacrificed elements of their game, but they all still are having those nights where all of them ball out.
Right. And to give James Harden credit, he did used to come off the bench in OKC.
Yep.
And he is a well-rounded ball handler and scorer.
Exactly.
Plus, he could get to the free throw line like anybody. I give him that. But that's with these ticky-tack fouls. But he's learned how to manipulate it.
Doing all that stuff and
exactly. So he taking advantage of that big time. Imagine if Jordan got those fouls back in his day. That's an easy extra 10 points a game.
Easy.
Free
throw line. Yeah.
Man, too easy, man.
Speaking of which, that's the other thing, and I'll stop being a hater, I promise. The flopping.
Man. That didn't even exist in Jordan Day.
Man.
Yeah.
I've seen LeBron flop, get a call, and then wink back at the dude, man, and you see the yes. And once he lost to Boston, that was it.
Yeah. That's when he went to Miami after that, didn't he?
He gave up. West in that whole situation. He mentally just checked out. He gave up on his teammates.
Right. And he was upset because he thought of them as the big three. They were all old, though, and that was through trades. He decided to go get with a prime D-Wade and Bosh. It was supposed to be worse because it was supposed to be a prime Carmelo.
Yeah. A lot of people know that they were supposed to Melo, Wade, and Braun was supposed to go with the Bulls with Derrick Rose.
That would have really been ugly.
And mind you, that Jimmy Butler was drafted. So,
oh my gosh,
and that would have been the cheap mode. And then And then Wade was like, let's go to Miami. Then Melo was like, no, I'm not gonna go to New York. I'm gonna go stay with New York. And then Bosh came in, was like, I'm gonna join the Heat. And then Braun came, and that's all that happened.
Because they supposedly got that idea when they played with each other on the Olympics.
Right.
What if the dream team? What if Jordan talked David Robinson and Barkley to come to the Bulls with Scotty?
I think David and Barkley, they were like, man, I'm not trying to play with you. I'm trying to play against you to win.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how they all thought. Or what if Jordan taught Karl Malone to come to him with the Bulls?
They would have won every game.
Every game, man. It would have ruined the NBA too with the competitiveness. Like it's not fun when everybody automatically know who gonna win. Like, the people knew the Bulls was gonna win the three-peat when Jordan came back, but it's because of his work ethic and what he did. It's not because they knew the team was just so dominant nobody had a chance.
Because you still had a lot of good teams out there.
Right. And they just knew Mike wasn't going to let them win. You know, whereas like Golden State, everybody knew no team could possibly beat them.
Makes it boring.
It was too boring. I don't think I watched a single regular season game that year.
Yeah, and that's just in today these same old rivals, like in these finals again. The Warriors Cavs, like Braun in the finals, Braun in the finals. Like, can we get somebody else?
Right.
To the finals.
I'm from Dallas, and so I'm a little biased originally from Dallas, but I think that's another reason why people love the Mavs when they beat the Heat so much that year, because they was talking all that noise all year. It's supposed to be like this big coronation, and then Dirk just came in and wrecked it. And remember, they had won, I think it was 2 games. They was up 2 games or something like that.
Yeah.
And then they started clowning them. They started making jokes and everything else, and Dirk came back hard. And at that point, when they lost, I saw the worst in LeBron. He was talking about well, I'm just going to go back to all these people talking about me. I'm going to go back to living my life, and they'll go back to living their life. And I was like, man, this is the sorest news I've ever seen in my life.
And what made it so bad with that team is that they beat it with a team effort, really. You know, Dirk was the only star. Tyson Chandler was like their defensive anchor. Marion was like their middleman, but he was no longer Sean Marion, the Matrix no more. No. You know, the Matrix slowed down. He was no longer in the Matrix, right?
That's like, if you look back in the Dallas, I know Anthony who watches Dallas says Dallas run a 4-3.
Yeah.
And
Jason Terry was giving them hell.
That messed up Braun, because at the time Braun can't shoot. He can't shoot. And Wade did it perfectly. Because he was, but it messed up LeBron, because they ran 4-3 with JJ Barrera and Jason Terry going back and forth on them defensively.
Yeah, that was even worse for LeBron though. The JJ Barrera little ass got up in your grill like that, man. You're supposed to dominate JJ like that. What? Jordan would have been insulted.
Oh my gosh.
He would destroy that 4-3.
Oh my God.
Personally.
Right. He took it personal that they was comparing Clyde Drexler to him.
Yeah.
And Clyde was a beast.
And ate Clyde up.
He ate Clyde up, man. He's like, this dude ain't nowhere near me.
and that's why I'll never understand why this conversation was even started in the first place. I just don't get it. I mean, I could even respect Kobe. Now I know you like Kobe, my man, and you know, for me, I have a different feeling about Kobe. He would chew his Gatorade ice like Jordan. You know what I'm saying? He would. That's how and he would shoot with 5 people on him all the time. And I was like, man, why are you shooting with 5 people on you like that, man? But at the end of the day, I did respect his will to win, and to not see that in LeBron, man.
Right. Jazzy Jeff said MJ missed 3 years of playing college ball. LeBron been playing straight out of high school. Come on, fam. What you mean?
he stayed in 3 years. He missed 1 year. He stayed in 3 years in college.
I mean, what you mean? Come on, fam. What are you trying to say? What that LeBron
that's like saying, oh man, you went to college and I didn't go to college. Come on, bro. That's your choice.
Right.
They didn't have that option.
Because when MJ got there, MJ wanted to be developed. That's why D. Smith got there. That's
exactly.
LeBron could have and won the championship, and also remember MJ's first year playing college, he hit the game winner
against a powerhouse Georgetown.
Yeah. And mind you, MJ got guys that can help him. Sam Perkins, James Worley, them guys from North Carolina really helped develop and D. Smith, those guys helped him develop his game.
Yeah. Playing against James Worthy every day in practice. And James Worthy said, yeah, I was better than him for about 2 weeks.
Right. I saw that clip. He's like, I was the best for about 2 weeks. He's like, then I realized, oh, okay. So, I see what he got.
By the time we start handicapping everything, well, LeBron went to college, didn't go to college. Well, he didn't have Phil Jackson. See, once you start making all these excuses, it's clear that he wasn't the GOAT. He's not the GOAT.
Right.
Because you have to make excuses for Jordan on anything.
Because Jordan played in the harder era, so that right there means a whole lot more. For his accomplishments in the era where you could get your ass beat, and that's just a foul.
Man.
Right there, it washes away everything. Because if he was in the era LeBron played in, come on, man.
I don't know how LeBron would have looked going up against Karl Malone, Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, Hakeem Olajuwon, Shaquille O'Neal when he was really, young and fresh. I don't know how tough he would have been. Sean Kemp, I don't know how tough he would have been. He would have been good. He would have been good.
Yeah, he'd have been a 20-point a game dude. He could have maybe been a little bit better Scottie Pippen version, maybe.
But he would have been.
Yeah. But he wouldn't have been even close to what people think of him now, I don't think. Especially since his game he's not as aggressive as he should be, considering all the physical gifts he got. Remember when LeBron wouldn't go back nobody down in the post? Even though nobody could guard him, he wanted to shoot jumpers and threes all the damn time. Like, dude, what are you doing, man? Jordan used to post people up as a guard and do that. That's where Kobe got it from. Fade away.
The MJ post up fade away. You couldn't stop it. That was his signature move.
Yeah, Jordan mastered that mid range. He really scored most of his points from mid range jumpers.
Mid-range jumpers and off the block.
Yeah. And when he started shooting threes in the second half of his career, which he still didn't shoot none compared to today's standard, but 2.5 to 3 a game, it was no stopping him. No stopping him, man. And even as a 40-year-old man, he still averaged 20 points a game and played every game. That's insane. It's insane, man. Insane, man. And I just wish more people could have saw what Mike did, this younger generation. I mean, it's right there on YouTube and places, NBA and stuff to check it out, but they don't want to see it.
They miss you know why they don't see it? It's because of the heroics. It's like he showed up and delivered when it was like a superhero almost. It was you know how when Dame Lillard hit that 3-pointer a few years ago to win the Champions Series, that's how Jordan won every time.
Right.
Twice. But now, that's how he did. And so we got to see that, and I don't think this younger generation got to see someone so dominant to where everyone knew he was going to get the ball and take the shot, and they
that's the thing too. Everybody knew and couldn't stop him. Even when Isaiah Thomas and them, they got swept, He made them like don't even want to shake his hand. They was so hurt. He used to hurt grown men feelings.
Woo.
You know what I'm saying? He hurt grown men feelings, man. Like, come on, man. Mike broke hearts.
Yes, he did.
You know? So,
yes,
man, it was just a total different thing, man. The people there, you had to see it to believe it. And everybody thought the Pistons still had the edge on him. They even wrote the Jordan Rules book and all this and that they had out. And ain't none of that shit helped.
Yeah, I'm like, you destroy that rule.
Yeah, for real. More like Jordan Rules over y'all. And so shit, they never even made the playoffs after that, I believe.
Nah, he wiped them out. He destroyed them. He decimated them.
Yeah, that was it.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. So, and he went against played in the toughest era with the Celtics, the great Celtics teams. With the Bird 86 Celtics. He dropped what 67 on them in the playoffs.
63 coming right off of a broken foot.
Coming off the broken foot.
The game before that, he had like 50-something points.
Right. With no help. And going against a great team, defensive team, Larry Bird in his prime. They used to be able to stick D like however they wanted to. And they couldn't stop him. You know, people talk about Jordan wasn't nothing till Scottie came. Jordan just couldn't win by himself in that era. As soon as Scottie made an all-star team, you know what I'm saying, that's when they almost beat Detroit, but he had the migraines. The very next year, they won the championship. Never looked back.
And just by you know, the logic of a lot of people, right? They say, well, LeBron got better stats. Well, look. For a minute there, before Doug Collins got fired, he put Jordan at the point guard to where he was playing the same position LeBron was doing, and he was averaging a triple-double like Westbrook.
That man loved Jordan. Doug Collins loved Jordan. He let Jordan do whatever he wants offensively. He let Jordan do whatever he wants. That's why you see him score almost 38 because he went 30, I think with 31, 37.1. Oh God,
like, he wasn't winning like he was supposed to.
Yeah, just Doug Collins let him give him the ball what he wants to. That's why Jordan loved Doug Collins.
Yeah. I agree.
But this era today, the coaches really don't have much pull because they'll fire the coach before they get rid of a star player in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that's LeBron fired David Pat before he couldn't even get a full season in.
Yeah, two coaches, and like it's very short black coaches, like very short black coaches, and now it's coaches that played in the NBA. That was them coaches now. Like that's what I said. Like what they did to Mark Jackson was very wrong. They blackballed him.
Yeah, that was messed up.
Yeah,
that was messed up. But you know, yeah, but it's always been NBA players that turn into coaches, though. I mean, Phil Jackson was a player, you know. So he wasn't that great of a player, but he was all right. He had big ass shoulders.
Yep. Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
It's better. The best coaches had normally role players because they had to work and learn the game more than a star. Exactly. Stars are hardly ever good coaches because they can't understand why players can't do certain things like how they did. You know, Jordan, they can't pick good talent because they think, okay, this person can do this, that, and the other. They gonna be a star, not realizing like work ethic or learning the plays and all this stuff. And a lot more go into it. Larry Bird probably is one of the best coaches that was a great player in recent times. Yeah. And even he couldn't take it and got frustrated with what was going on and retired and walked away. So, So yeah, man. Hey, man. But I appreciate talking with y'all, man. It was great.
Hey, this is great, man. Keep doing your thing. God bless. Keep pumping your channel. It's a beautiful channel, man. I'm about to get to the game.
All right, no problem.
This is up 20 points.
Oh my God, ain't nothing to watch.
Well, the problem again with the game is with the way these 3-pointers work.
Right.
They can actually come back now. You know what I'm saying? But
5-10 shots and it's a game again.
Exactly.
It's a 10-point swing. Right. And and hey, the way it go, they gonna start playing until it's hard to the end of the third, the fourth quarter. Now they gonna take it serious.
Yeah, and they'll be up 3. You know,
yeah, DeAndre Ayton been handling Anthony Davis though. He making him look bad. He making him look bad.
Hey, y'all remember that movie Glass with
Anthony Davis? Yeah, Anthony Davis.
They calling him Glass now, man.
Mr. Glass. He just breaking up all easy, like it just breaking up, falling apart. He done got that 200 million now. He done got too soft and cushy.
Man, his tailbone connected to his knee bone, everything breaking, man. Everything.
You're right. Man. Hey, man. And
God
they
bless
still gonna keep that
man.
money.
Yeah.
I know that's right. All right, man. Appreciate you, man. You take it easy now.
All right, man. See you Friday, Jay.
Hey, thanks, man. Y'all take it easy. All right. Hey, S Young and Anthony, thanks for coming through. Great talking with y'all and Birds Nation as well. Hey, I appreciate it. Hey, everybody, thanks for chatting. It was a good conversation. I'm gonna see y'all again next Tuesday. We can talk about some more sports, whatever it may be. We could talk about who won and who lost in these playoffs about in, and why you pissed at whatever, whoever. And we could talk about one other thing I did want to talk about is how Kyrie Irving, they all mad because he did whatever to the Boston logo and they threw water or whatever. Like, man, that was petty that what he did, but people can't be throwing stuff either. So maybe we'll talk about that this Friday because, of course, it'll be old news by next week. So anyway, thanks, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and I'm going to see y'all this Friday. All my members, I'll see y'all tomorrow, and I'm up out of here. Y'all take it easy. Be safe. Peace.